It is a gym.
Are you ready?
My coach, Barbara H. Smith. Why did I hire her? Because she's the best.
Barbara H. Smith is a powerhouse. She just walks in the room and grabs your attention, and she does that in a way that just makes you feel loved and like she's paying attention to you. She cares about you, and she wants to see you be your best self.
She was able to dig inside and find the passion that was deep within me.
Barbara's energy is one of the reasons that I had to have her as my coach. I love the way she is real with people.
The reason I felt like I needed a coach was because I have some big goals and I needed to build my confidence. I knew that Barbara could help me do that.
I felt that I could trust her.
I would definitely recommend to get coaching from Barbara H. Smith if you feel like you need to level up your confidence. She would just help you feel like bold, like you can take on the world.
She has really shown me who I am. She has changed my mindset to a place that I know that I am more powerful today than I would have ever been if I had never met Barbara Smith.
Here we go. Here we go. Do you believe it is the first day of the last month of 2022? Oh my gosh, it is amazing. Welcome to the Empowering You Show. We are so grateful that you're here. We have another power-packed show today. But first, why do we do the Empowering You Show? It is to showcase small businesses and business people in the community that are doing phenomenal things. And today is no different. You like this show? Please like, and share. Go to bit.ly, capital BHS, lowercase YouTube, and subscribe to our station. Cost you nothing, don't cost you nothing. Oh, sorry. Doesn't cost a thing. Just click the bell to get notified every time we're on the air, and you will be able to see the phenomenal guests we are bringing up. But before we bring up these phenomenal guests, let me bring up the co-host of the Empowering You Show, the sensationally smooth Shani Smith. Oh, she's echoing. There she is.
How about now? How do I sound?
Not now. You're not echoing.
Okay, awesome. Good day, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are. I am so happy to be here. I am so excited because it's December the 1st.
Are you excited about December the 1st? What is going on? Is time going like fast, very fast?
Time is going fast, but I feel like every time we have the first of the month, it's the first day to get started over again. Oh. It's just a fresh start, not just literally, but mentally. So I'm happy about it.
Good. I like that. I love the necklace, by the way.
Oh, a dear celebrity friend of mine got this for me. I'm not sure if you've met her.
You are so crazy.
Perhaps you have.
It's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful year. We're going to recap some of the things that went on this year later in the month. But before I go into all of that, let us introduce our guest for today. She is the master change catalyst who writes programs for human development. She spent 30 years researching human nature, and it led her to create her current program, Authenticize. Earlier in her career as director of child development programs and organizations, she created early intervention programs that operated in 2 states. Her next career stop, the first Black woman to own a speaker bureau, booking speakers for events around the country. Becoming an entrepreneur, she developed programs for speakers to accelerate their success. Currently, she owns a coaching company that teaches people to be more authentic, certifies teachers and trainers, facilitators, coaches, and speakers in her Authenticize process so they can share their skills with other individuals and organizations. The author of Blueprint for Engagement, Authentic Leadership, 10 Steps to Authenticity, and the process to become a professional speaker. I present to you Norma Hollis.
And the crowd goes wild.
How are you?
Hello, I am absolutely fantastic. I love the way you introduced me. I should have recorded that and kept it for my introduction.
Well, don't worry. You can just subscribe to the YouTube channel and watch it whenever you like.
You got that right.
And there's a way for you to clip that part,
yes,
and use it in your future presentations.
You just gave me permission. Yeah. I will do that. Thank you very much.
Permission granted.
Please do that. Please do that. I get that a lot, though. People like the way I introduce them because it's not just reading the bio. I mean, yeah, I could have sat here and read everything you put in the bio, but I pick and choose those juicy tidbits, and then I explode them onto the screen so that people get excited to see our guests. That's what we do here.
You made me excited, Chucks.
So speaking of excited, we want to talk about how you got started doing what you do now. Authenticize sounds fabulous. I want to, as a speaker myself, I want to definitely know more about that. How did you get started?
Well, I never intended to be an entrepreneur. I just was following the voice of my spirit. And by the time I got to be 28, I realized I really hadn't been following it that well because I had become my parents' version of who they thought a Black girl should be in America.
Wait,
stop right there.
Wait.
Stop right there.
And that was married to a man who had a good job with cars and a house and a good job myself and money in the bank. So I had all those things at 28 and I was miserable. And I had no idea what to do with myself because I didn't know who I was. And that's when I decided to just say, I'm not doing this. I stepped out and I started to dissect myself to figure out who am I. I felt several energies living within me. So I kind of dissected them and I made a grid. I gave each energy the name of an animal.
Okay. You got to stop.
Look, I was trying to find my space to like stop you too because
she done dropped them all these nuggets.
Tons.
What was your first one, Shani?
First of all, the fact that you were 28 deciding this and how do you even at 28 realize not only am I not living my purpose or being who I should be, you're on the path to already exploring and finding out who you are.
Yes. Well, I was born with a very clear understanding that I was here for a purpose and I had something to do. So I was born with that.
Did you hear that, people in the back?
But see, therein lies the problem for many people in the world, Norma, including myself, because I did not realize that I came here for purpose till way past 28. Mm-hmm. You know, I was kind of like one of those floating with the tide. And I learned that there are so many people like me. There are people like you who definitively out of the chute know exactly what their purpose is. That's not my testimony.
Now, I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I had one and that I had to follow the path to find out what it was. It became clearer and clearer every decade or every 20 years or so. It became clearer. But I was always on the path of finding it. It's more clear now, in my senior years than it's ever been. But it's been a path.
Were you the one who was on the Black Business Expo and said and quoted statistics about finding yourself in the 60s and the people that were most successful were in their 60s? Was that you?
That was me. Yes.
That was her.
Yes.
You gave me new life and new hope.
Well, now I have to give you a caveat now because I have since learned that quotation is not actually accurate. At the time that I shared it, all I could find was the citation. I could not find the actual article, and I've looked for it. Others have looked for it. I've since found they have that website about Snoops or something. I don't remember the name of it, but it tells you what's real.
Snopes.com.
And I read on there that it is not. It's been quoted multiple times, but there is no statistic. There is no study that was done by the New England Journal of Medicine to make that decision. Okay. But nonetheless, when I look at my background in human development and understanding and all the things I've learned, I still believe that's true because it's that age that, first of all, your hormones are dictating your decision-making skills. They don't play parole, you know, and that plays a lot. You've lived enough life to understand yourself more and understand yourself in society more. You've made mistakes. You've corrected some, not all. And you kind of don't give a crap about what other people say the way you
That's
did
the part.
when you were in your 30s. So
that part right there.
Yes, that one particularly, yes. So it frees you up to be your authentic self. So that's what most people don't really come into it until then. I just had the blessing and the gift and the assignment, if you will, you know, to learn this earlier so that I could share it with other people. So that's what I'm about doing. Yes.
So I'm really curious. I've got Shani chomping at the bit over there. She's got some questions, but before I get into my questions, I'm going to let her air hers.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be transparent here and say that I am actually in my later 40s. I typically go with 28, but I'm just going to say that it has, since I've decided that I had to let go of all the plans that other people had for me, that I have felt the freest I've ever felt. You know, so when you say like, just stop caring about what other people think, oh, that's an understatement. Because it was at that moment that the weight was lifted. It doesn't even matter. And when I realized, because of the great Lisa Santiago McNeil, that shame is not something that other people can give me.
Right.
That is something that I put on. Woo! That right there. Yeah.
I want to share something that goes back to not realizing what your gifts are or what you're here for. And this goes back to my background in early childhood and my years of working and studying human nature. So as preschoolers, as young children, anyone that has toddlers or preschoolers in their home knows that when the children recognize what their gifts are, they share them with you ad nauseum. So in a preschool classroom, for example, when the kids come in, we tell them, the teachers will tell them, come on in, go play where you want to play, make your choice. You want to go to the play area, the jungle gym, the finger pants, the music, where you want to go. And you go to the bathroom, whenever you need to go. And they do that freely. And they sing because they learn they can sing. And they do these things. They get home and they start singing or making noise because they like the drums. And they get told, you're making too much noise. I work today. Go watch TV. Okay. And don't bother me. I'll tell you when it's time to eat. And so, kids start stepping back from their gifts and talents. So the gifts and talents that you have before the age of 7 are a big clue to what your purpose is, but that you lose them. And sometimes you don't get them back because then when you get to kindergarten and first grade, you're not told go where you want it. Sit in your chair, raise your hand, go to the bathroom, hold it till I tell you to leave, learn the system, stay in order. And people, sometimes they stay in the cubicles all their life and never really get out to learn who they really are.
That's so good. That's so good. You got Queen Agnes in the background saying that's so true because she was a director of early childhood development most of her career. When we talk about Queen Agnes, you don't know who that is. That's my mom. She's always in the wings. She's always listening. She's 84 and beautiful. Queen Agnes runs things around here. Don't tell nobody. Anyway, that is so critical because right now I'm watching my great nephew develop. He lives nearby and he's here enough for me to watch him. He is an engineer, hands down, an engineer. And I see it happening. And I was talking to my niece, who is his mother, and she says, yeah, we're starting him with coding now. And I thought, oh my God, is that phenomenal? He's got a little coding program on his tablet that's basic coding, but he loves it. And so I'm like, that is so smart. I wish he was a parent. He's 4.
Oh, okay.
He's coding and he's 4.
Yes.
You might need to teach you because that's 8.
He's 4. His brother after the 5th floor. He's 4. I had to say it twice. That's what it is.
Okay. That's explanation point.
Okay. Yeah. Extra. You know how I do. But that is so critical, Norma, to knowing who you are. And, all of us can go back. Well, many of us can go back and remember the things we used to do that we enjoyed.
Right.
And that's the thing that many of us didn't know that was supposed to be our purpose. So you really opened up some eyes. What do you think, Shani?
I mean, I'm at the place where I have a 10-year-old, right? So she's not completely out of the woods as far as any damage I could have done by saying, be quiet or whatever. I actually chose Montessori schooling for her because I know that she's definitely not the type that to sit there and we have to do math at 9 o'clock. We have to do science at 10 o'clock. She's just not that soul from the beginning, So I did know that. But when you think about it, we were actually just talking about it not too long ago about how many times growing up on your report card did they say talking interferes with learning. I think I always made honor roll, but I think I had that every marking period, and it was like, that's good. It's great. You need to be quiet. Now, who knew? Look at me talking. Be quiet now. You know what I mean? But it was for a long time. I liked being in the background because it was comfortable. I was quiet, but I still got to be part of the team. And now I'm accepting my space up front. I'm starting to go up to the front.
Well, kudos for you.
I ain't in the back of the bus anymore. I'm sitting on the front seat if I want to.
I know that's right. And you guys, you're good at this. So we want to talk more about Authenticize.
Authenticize, that's the name of the organization that I operate. My 30 years of research caused me to create what I call my authenticity grid. And what I've learned about it is that what I've created is, what I'm understanding is that it's a human energy management system, because as human beings, we're made up of energy. And if I go back to the animals that I identify with myself, what I was identifying was the different energies within me and relating them to animals just so I could understand them. And as I studied that and looked into astrology and a whole bunch of other ancient beliefs, about human beings and life, etc., I put it all into a grid that is now called my authenticity grid. And that's what I train by. I certify teachers, speakers, retirees, facilitators, coaches to deliver the work that I do within their own practice, or as we take it to different organizations in corporate America to help to authenticize the world. Authenticize means exercising your authenticity. So just like you talked, Shani, about your verbal gifts, there's an assessment. One of the assessments that I do with my clients and students is to identify what their natural gifts and talents are. And one of them is verbal linguistic. And that doesn't just mean speaking. It also means writing. It just means you like words and you can manipulate and work with words. So whatever you're probably always using words. And when I give the assessment, what I recommend to people is that there are 9 different gifts that they talk about. And whatever your top 3 gifts are, my recommendation is that you're using them in what you do on a day-to-day basis, preferably in your work environment, because that's when you're going to find work most meaningful. They say 4.5 million people are leaving corporate America, leaving jobs every month now. And part of it is because their gifts and talents are not tied to their work. A lot of people selected their jobs, like my parents told me, because you'll make money. Go be a teacher because you'll make money. And then if your husband leaves you, you'll always have a job, right? We always heard something like that. But no, it's about just being who you are authentically and finding way. My creator would not have given me these gifts if they were not to use in such a way for me to sustain myself while I'm here. So with that in mind, I suggest that people look at their gifts and talents and use those more in their day-to-day work, preferably, and if not that, at least in your play and your pleasure.
That sounds like a great place to pause you and take you back for a minute, because you said a whole bunch of great stuff right there. I want to take you back to the 3 energies that you first recognized, and you labeled them as animals so that you could study them and understand them. Take us back to that part.
Well, my grid has 3, and I apologize for not having, usually I sit in front of it, but I had computer problems this morning, so I didn't get prepared early enough. But if you can visualize a grid, I actually have a copy. I should usually have a copy close by. But anyway, there's 3 columns, and one column says inner voice. And what that means is that each of us have a voice within us that's always talking to us, and how we listen to it and respond to it. That's your inner voice.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Inner voice. Did y'all hear that in the back? The inner voice. The inner voice.
Are you talking to your voices back there?
Yeah. And I'm talking to the voices that, not just mine, but those that didn't hear it the first time. So
they're the partners back there. They do have partners. That's true. I'm glad you recognize. So true. You say voices? Yes,
that's
voices.
so powerful because we can talk ourselves into and out of.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm gonna blow your mind now. Okay. So when I was 8 years old is when I had a real problem with my ear. I got an ear infections that ended up being very painful because the only way they could stop the pain was putting a solution that felt like acid inside of my head. Well, my family never understood the level of pain that I had, and I had earaches for 2 years that were severe. But the voices started coming to speak to me when I was 8. I remember walking to school and the voices talked to me, and I said to the voices, well, if you're the voices I should listen to, because you can test them, prove it to me. And let somebody walk by in the next week with red socks, and let somebody else mention the word elephant in a conversation. And if that happens in a week, maybe I'll believe that you're the right voices. Well, it happened. And then I asked other questions in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Wait while I laugh. Hold on. I got I didn't want to miss nothing else, but I had to get that laugh out because, all right, I'm good.
So anyway, so what I like to tell people is that you can test the voice to find the right one that works. And then the voices always give you confirmations. I had a friend come by on Thanksgiving several years ago wearing red socks. And I said, well, if I hear the word elephant in a week, that's a confirmation of whatever it was I was dealing with. But the biggest confirmation came from my husband, who deceased about 7 years ago. But he bought this for me about 3 years before he passed. He said he was walking by it and it just, something happened and he just had to buy it. And I just have to show it to you. So you know my branding color, I'm always in orange. I always wear orange. That's my branding color. And what he gave me was an orange elephant with red socks.
Oh, stop it.
Wait, so does she have a name? The voice, not the elephant.
The voice?
Yes.
Oh, I have multiple voices. So no, one of them is Julia, but the other ones haven't told me their names yet. So I don't really, I just interact with them.
Well, mother has
my naughty one has a name, I won't tell it, but just
I'm stuttering. You hear me over here?
My alter ego, when I need to do, I want confirmation and permission to do something that probably isn't what I should do. She has another name too. She has a name, so I'm like, oh, no, we're not doing that today.
That's right. You have to know those voices, and you have to know your energies and how to manage them. You know, if you look at the discord we have in the world, it's because people's energies get out of control. You know, shooting a gun, someone's energy gets out of control. Having a fight, same thing. Having a war, I guess it's the same thing. So that's one of our problems. We're not really responding to our nature and managing our energy. And no one teaches energy. We don't learn self-awareness. Kids learn who they are from the bullies on the street or from the parents who really want them to just be quiet so they can get done what they need to do and get their job done because they're tired from working, et cetera, et cetera. You know, life has this certain cycle that it strips us from some of the things that give us meaning. And we really are responsible for taking it back. So without meaning,
many of us don't even know that we're supposed to take it back.
No.
So say again.
Many of us don't even know that we're supposed to take it back.
Yes. Well, we have to. Otherwise, the world just keeps getting worse. And it is. I mean, all of us, no matter what age you are, you can probably see that it just keeps getting worse. It's not just century by century. It's decade by decade, year by year. It's getting worse. So, you know, how much worse can it get? Well, probably quite a bit. But if the people lead, the leaders will follow. So we have to empower ourselves, like as you do on your show and even your wonderful introductions and your personality, et cetera, to be empowered to believe that there's a job for you. Listen to your inner voice. And I'll tell you later how you can do that more effectively, because your voice, everyone's voice is a piece of the puzzle. And the puzzle comes together and the world's a better place. But it's up to us, you know, and there's more of us than there are of any of those that are trying to take control of us. So what you gonna do?
I love that.
You're gonna do something that's in your gifting plan. That's what you're gonna do. Exactly.
Can you give us an example of an animal?
Well, my intuition, which is the first dimension in the inner voice, is an owl, because during those years, I wrote poetry books. I had poems that came through me at the age of 20 that I didn't understand. I would write them, and I wrote volumes and volumes of them, and I just put them away. And I pulled them out 20 years later and sorted them and turned them into a book that I call Spiritual Awakenings, because what I realized, it was me awakening to the me that was the deeper me, that was knocking and trying to get out, so I could learn what my assignment was, so I could get going with it. So I divided it into, I have an introductory poem that's kind of my first 35 years of life. And then I talked about, my poems are about reality and about destiny and about Thanksgiving. I have a lot of poems just in appreciation, but they were all very God-centered and about being led, being a divine guidance is what I call it in many ways. About allowing yourself to be guided by a divine energy that just might know more about life than you do. You know, it gets me. Yeah. People will say, well, God is with me. And my question is, are you with God? I mean, we're not the architect, we're the servant. We're not the architect. So we architect our lives by managing our energy, yeah. But the message and the assignment to bring this all together is not ours to make. It's just ours to do what our part is. At least that's how I see it.
That's so good. I got a question for you. If you had 2 minutes to get your grid, could you do it to show us?
I could get not only the grid, I can also get the rug I made when I was 28.
Okay, so we're going to go to commercial break in about a minute, and you can pick up your stuff. The commercial break will be about 2 minutes, a minute and a half, and come on back and show us what you got. Show us what you're working with. I am super excited to talk about authenticity. Before we go to break, I want you to tell us, are children born authentic? Are we born as children authentically?
Far more now than ever in the past, because if you've heard the words of Indigo and Crystal, the children that are coming into the world now have a much better sense of why they're here. Many of them are peacemakers. They're strong spirits coming very aware of their assignment to get the planet in order, because the way that the climate is changing, the way that the resources are being depleted, just so many things, we can go on and on and on, that are detrimental to the evolution of humanity. So it's the human race that we're really talking about. And I could go so deep into that, but I'm not. But there's a lot of information on that, and I can tell people how they can learn more about it. But yeah, people are so asleep. As a human race, we believe everything we hear, we don't question much. If we question something, we're told something's wrong with us. You just believe it, and just do it, just follow the leader.
Blindly follow. Blindly follow. Yeah.
Blindly follow. But I'm saying, no, wake up everybody, because it's a story, and there's information that humans need to know. Because once we understand it and see the bigger picture, and you can get to the point that your own energy will tell you that, if you slow down enough and get off the rat wheel and just listen to yourself, it will guide the answers. Yeah.
Slow down enough. That part right there is where we lack as humans. I'm guilty. Just going, and never taking time and thinking, here's one of mine, and thinking that when I rest, breathe, am quiet, and listening, that I'm not doing anything.
Right.
That I'm being lazy.
No. Right. That's when you're going deep. That's when you need. And that's the problem, because people don't take time to go deep. Yeah. They don't take reflect. They just keep going, going. Yeah. That's what happened.
I'm so guilty.
That's what COVID did when people had to stop. And they stopped. They said, well, wait a minute. Well, what am I really doing? I'm just making money and for somebody else. I don't think this is like it's supposed to be. So I congratulate all of you who are waking up. Let me help you.
Yes, it's an awakening.
Shani, let's all help you. Yes.
Yeah. We are at the slumber.
Yeah, that part. We are at the top of the hour, meaning the bottom of the hour, and we are going to go to commercial break. When we come back, don't you go anywhere. When we come back, Norma's going to show us the grid and talk more about how you can become more authentic. Right back after this.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out. Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am engaging, inspiring, and empowering. I would give you everything I know. Just by touching you, if I could, by osmosis, give you every single thing I've learned, I've gone through, I know I would. We know that's not possible, but as it is possible, I love to share information with people.
Some of you out there, people have told you that you can't be, you can't have, you can't do. But I will tell you, like Kingston said, you can, you must, and you will. If it's to be, it's going to be me. You got to say it. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be. If it's to be, it's going to be.
Barbara is because she believed what her mama said about her and not what other people told her.
Every day you wake up, when you're in a situation, it's your choice whether it's an advantage or the disadvantage.
She gained her confidence and her life, and now she is a testimony.
If I can help you elevate yourself, then I feel like I'm elevating my own self as well. What you know and I know together can change the world.
We are back with the godmother of authenticity.
Yes, that song still gets me. I'm in the background. Do, 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 do. Yeah, so I was just telling Queen Agnes in the background, this conversation with Norma Hollis is so crucial and so timely for what's happening with this one right now. And I am so grateful that God sent you this way so that you could expound on authenticity, the authenticity grid. I almost got tongue-tied trying to say that. Authenticity grid. And you're here with us. You can see I'm a little silly sometimes, but I love me being silly, and I'm just going to be me. That's the authentic me. What can I say? So
wait, you're saying you don't care what other people think about it? Isn't that free?
I was free now. I was free. Anyway, Norma is back with us. Oh my gosh. And she is going to talk some now about the authenticity grid. Go ahead, Norma.
This is the grid. Let me see if I can get it up here.
That's good.
Yep.
We can see it.
Good.
Yeah.
So if you see on the far right is the inner voice. That's the voice that no one hears but you. The middle is the outer voice. That's how other people perceive you. And the far one is the expressive voice, which is who you become and how you show up in the world. Okay. And then if you look on the side here, you see that the inner, outer, expressive are called domains. And the ones that are horizontal are referred to as the dynamics. And the dynamics would be think, communicate, and do. So the horizontal of think on the top, all of those are things that were given to you at birth. Intuition is
Ooh.
the sixth sense you got at birth. Net wellness is DNA you got at birth. Legacy is gifts and talents we just talked about that you got at birth. The second horizontal for the middle is how you communicate to the world who you are. You communicate through your value system, your integrity, through your people you are around, your network, and through your personality, your likability. And the bottom one is do, which is how you get things done in the world, which is inspiration versus motivation, inspiration coming from within. Net wealth, which is joy and abundance, which is what motivates you and gets you inspired as well, but not necessarily money, although money is a part of it. And then lifestyle, which is your day-to-day habits. So each of those individual boxes are referred to as dimensions. So that's the 9 dimensions of authenticity that are a part of my grid. So intuition, integrity, and inspiration are the inner voice. The outer voice is net wellness, network, and net wealth. And the expressive voice, legacy, likability, and lifestyle.
That is so huge. That is
Real
so
good.
cool.
And I have an assessment that goes with it. And once we do the assessment and put your scores on the grid, we get a really good picture. We give you a picture of your energy patterns and what energies you might be lacking to need to bring into your world. Maybe not for you personally, but maybe through your associations, and so you can be more balanced and get more done.
Yeah, and I use something like that called the DISC assessment, but it's the advanced DISC assessment that is no longer the written, because the written left out different places people would leave off in writing. The DISC assessment extra is a plug and play, kind of a gamified version of the DISC assessment. And that works really well in assessing people's energy and what they would like and don't like and all those kinds of things. Shani?
Yeah, so just to make sure I'm clear, so if you're just a naturally introverted or a very shy person, then the way to do that, sometimes to balance that, is to find someone else who, do they kind of become your voice, or is there a way to activate so that you yourself become a little bit more outgoing?
That's a good question.
Well, first of all, one of the things I recommend to people is don't try to be who you're not. Now, historically, a lot of people, a lot of business things like will say, well, you got to market more, or you got to do this more, but maybe you're not a marketer. So I had an introvert take my program, and he took my program. He had just written a book, and he had been to a bunch of marketing gurus who said, do it this way. You got to do it this way. Do it this way. It's one way that works. And he said, if I do that, my family would have a fit because it's not me. And I need to figure out how I should be marketing what's authentic for me. So through doing that, he understood himself more. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. He's since written some more books, and he's gotten great response from them. And
he has since done what did you say? I missed that.
He has since done very well. He's written more. He's written 2 more books, and he's had a lot of success with the books that he's written. Okay. Now, the one thing that he said to me, Shani, was that he said that in the likability, which is over here, right here, where I call it personality. He says, I don't think it's personality because I'm not personable, but I'm very likable. So we've been looking at what do we really mean by likability? And we talked about it meaning empathy or compassion or building rapport or connection. And one person even said it's what people say about you when you leave the room. So it's different ways to look at it. But it's the energy that you put out that enables, some people put out a very closed energy, so that's not very likable. And maybe it's openness. Maybe that's part of what it is. I don't know. But the whole point is to get people to really examine themselves and how they are coming across in the world, how they're living their life, how they're interacting with others, how they're engaging, and how their energy plays, and what areas you may need to control. And it doesn't mean that you have to change, but what it does mean is that, for example, if you're a thinker, you can sit at home and you can fix every problem in the world, but you are not going to get paid unless you
never do anything. Yes.
Right. So whether you do it, or whether you hire someone to do it for you, whether you marry someone to do it, whether you work with someone that does it, it's got to get done. So the answer may not be for you to do it because you might suck at it because it's not your gift. But you have to recognize that to get things done, you need the think, the communicate, and the do energy to do it.
Now, I want to pause you there for 2 reasons. I want to pause you there for 2 reasons.
Okay.
First, I want to go back to the young man who said he is not personable, but he's likable.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm struggling with that still. I'm way back there still, trying to figure out how are you personable.
Well, so it's
how you're likable but not personable.
A person who's more likable is often more extroverted, and so therefore they will go seek out the likability. The person who's introverted is going to wait for you to come to them. So generally, when you come to them, they're likable. I mean, you can tell it when they come, but they're not going to go find you. So, and you asked the question earlier, Shani, about can you change? I know for me, my scores on introvert and extrovert are generally right in the middle, okay, or 6-4. I am by nature probably more introvert. That's how I could write for 30 years. But what I realized when I found out that I need to be a speaker to get this done, I can't do that as well as an introvert, and I do have some extroverted tendencies. So I deliberately coached myself or helped myself bring out those qualities and feel more comfortable in crowds. So now I'm probably as of, I spoke on the stage about 2 weeks ago, and it really brought out the rest of my extrovert that needed to come out because I missed it. So I'm probably a 6-4 now, so I'm happier with it. And plus my program is now written. I could not be the extrovert as I'm writing it because I needed to listen to my voice. I needed to write from within, not write from without. I needed to experience some things and write from the experience, but I just had to listen. It wasn't my time to go share it. It hadn't fully blossomed, it hadn't fully unfolded. And that's how a lot of you that are doing whatever you're doing in similar areas and you're being fed it, you have to allow yourself to be fed. I know as I was going through this, my voice has always told me, well, you're not going to have any real success until you're over 70. I said, no, 50. I said, no, 60. But now I'm over 70, it's just happening. It's like, okay, y'all were right in the first place. So it's okay.
Wait. You know,
I said,
we are some beautiful people. Okay. I'd
like to say I'm an extroverted introvert.
Okay.
I love the socialization part. Love it. But I love my me time by myself, thinking and dwelling, and I don't have to be out front. Some people just have to be out front. I don't have to be.
Right.
I'm good when I'm out there, but I don't have to be.
But you're good because you had the time to yourself. You're good because you had that time with yourself to refuel and to reconnect. I have
to refuel.
Exactly.
It gets to me when there's too many people all the time, which is you just explained, and I didn't know why. You just explained why I wanted to do a retreat with only 20 ladies. I don't need 500 people showing up.
Exactly. You can't engage in the same way. You can't really share yourself in the same way. You can't give to them in the same. You're a giver, so you can't give if you got 500 people. You can give a little piece, but not really you can't feed them like you want them fed.
How you get I'm a giver out of this conversation?
But just by saying that you would prefer to have a group of 20 versus 500. So you're not going just for the money, you're going for the quality of the relationship.
Oh, Lord.
Did she drop that nugget on you?
She dropped me in the head. She hit me dead in the forehead right there.
That's what takes when you get 70, that stuff comes out like that,
Wow.
But I love this real
awakening.
I know. Good. I love this real conversation, Norma. Do you recognize that Shani is giving you the authentic Shani? I'm giving you the authentic me, and you're giving it back. And we are having this wonderful, sensational, exploring conversation. I love it. Thank you so much. How do we get in touch with you? If we want to get in touch with Norma Hollis, how do we get in touch with you?
Well, certainly LinkedIn. You can also reach me by coaching@normahollis.com. But I also want to invite you to have a free gift because I have one of the things that I recognize we're missing in the world so much is going deeper. We don't ask the serious questions and take time to really reflect. Mm-hmm. So I have a networking experience that is free every single Tuesday at 5:00. We may take a couple of breaks at the end of December, but we'll be back full force in January, and we're still going for a few more weeks now. But it's called Authentic Life Networking Circles. You know, when you do networking groups on Zoom now, usually it's for marketing or building your business, and entrepreneurs are always running for that. But what we do is we go through the dimensions of authenticity, the 9 dimensions on the grid, and I have a speaker who will give you about 10 minutes information about that particular dimension. And then we put you into small rooms, usually about no more than 3 people. And we give you a thought-provoking question before you go into the room, and you discuss that thought-provoking question and how it impacts your life. And then you come back and you share with the group, and then you get 2 thought-provoking questions, and you get the same group. So you get a chance to go deep. You get a chance to know people who are like-minded people who are also seeking more authenticity. And we just started this about a month ago, and we're getting a lot of response. I've been doing Tuesday events for a long time, but I changed the format because I want to help people connect with the person they were born to be. You know, we start out that way, as I mentioned, and along the way it gets stripped from us and we forget who it is. But I can take you back and help you, my team and I. And it starts by just coming on to the free classes on Tuesday. So it's 5 o'clock Pacific time, and you go to giftfromnorma.com to get it. Giftfromnorma.com.
You saw me calculating the clock, right?
That was good, because I was about to say, well, typically I have a meeting with Barbara at 5 o'clock until you said Pacific time. And then I'm like, hey, I'm in there. I'm about to cancel you, Barbara, because I'm going to be in that.
And I'm always looking for new speakers too. So if you're interested in being one of my speakers, we can certify you. You can be one of our speakers for a Tuesday. You can be trainers for our corporate program. You can coach people in this authenticity process. Just come on Tuesday first. Let's get to know each other, get to see the energy that we put out, and
I love it.
See how you like it, and then we'll go from there.
I love it. I have www.normahollis.com as a website. I'm sure the information is out there as well. And I will definitely be interested. Do me a favor, in the private chat on your screen, type in the information. I don't have the information you just gave to Mark to put in here, but put that in there. Oh, there it is. The gift from Mark, could you scroll that? The gift from Norma.com, www.giftfromnorma.com. That's where we want to get to. I want to make sure that I have that. Let me grab that right quick myself. I know y'all on TV and everything, but I need this right here for me. Okay, that's just that. Boom, boom, done. There we go. All right.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I am excited about connections. You know, I'm a networker extraordinaire person. And that's how, again, networking on the Black Business Expo. Shout out to Dr. Kelly III, Eric Kelly III. I got to give him the kudos for the sensational connections I've made. One being the incomparable Mark Lee, who is behind the scenes doing all this magical stuff that you don't see, and you don't see him, but you see the production, the produce of his work. And then the sensational Shani Smith. I would have never probably met her had I not been a part of BBX. And she is now my co-host, one of my closest friends. And, you know, just connections, network is what I do. And so now to have met you, Norma Hollis, I am extraordinarily grateful, excited to make your acquaintance and to get to know you better and work with you. Should that be in our paths going forward. So I'm loving it.
I was thinking, Miss Barbara Lee, that we should be working together. I agree with you.
I absolutely believe that. And what I love so much about being authentic is when you're standing in your own skin, when you're not trying to be somebody that you're not, when you know who you are, and more importantly, whose you are, you can couple yourself with somebody who's powerful, as powerful, more powerful than even you, and still be cool in your own skin. I love that. I love that. There's no, and that's what happened at the Sisters Empower Sisters to Advance retreat. There was no cattiness. There was no fighting and no animosity and no the stuff.
It was definitely not a Real Housewives moment, for sure. Definitely.
It was sensational. And I want to invite more women to do just that. Not just women, but specifically women, because typically we get talked down to by any number of people in the hierarchy of people. So to see that happen and to see the camaraderie and the relationships, by the way, I happen to know every person at the retreat, but each other, the ladies in the event did not know each other. And now those relationships have formed, and I'm so grateful. So this is another one of those relationships, another one of those times where I'm grateful that I've gotten the opportunity to meet you.
Ditto. Yes, and I reflect the same feelings. So it's been a joy. I've enjoyed it. And I've only scratched the surface. I have so much more to share.
I love it. I love it. You talk about how do we reclaim it? How do we reclaim our authenticity if we've lost it?
Well, it starts by listening to your voice and allowing yourself to listen to your voice. And people sometimes forget how to do that. So let me give you a suggestion. So think about how you answer yourself when you ask yourself these 3 questions that you ask every single day. What time is it? What am I going to wear? What am I going to eat? So you ask yourself these questions every single day. So examine, how does the answer come to you? Is it a thought, a feeling, a memory, a rolling through the rushes, something in your gut? You know, I remember when I lost 30 pounds a few decades ago, and I went to a resale shop, and I found this beautiful orange St. John's suit, size 8, that fit me like a glove. And I remember how it made me feel. You know,
size 8.
Looking good because I just lost.
I think I wore a size 8 when I was 8.
Well, when that
single digit.
When that feeling comes on me, I know to pay attention because the Spirit's talking to me. My voice is getting my attention. Okay. And then when I want to feel that way, maybe I may be down or I'm going somewhere, and I still have the jacket. I'm not giving it up because I always feel great when I look at it. When I put it on, it's all tattered and I can't get it fully clean, but I'm aware because the way it makes me feel. So just, you know, your connection is allowed through your feelings. It's through your senses, the 5 senses, your 6 senses. So listen to and watch and see and feel how your body responds when you get answers that you ask every day. What time is it? What am I going to wear? What am I going to eat? And as you do that, you'll get closer. And then, as I said before, test it. There's nothing wrong with testing. Hey, voice, if that's really you, do this. But give it time, because a voice is like a friend. You know, it can't just poof. Maybe it can, but don't expect that. Give it, like I said, in a week, let this happen. And the other one happened over several decades. So and then learn to listen and observe. Now, some of this we do talk about on these Tuesday classes, because we're actually taking people to another vibration, another level of understanding, another level of humanity. And that's because our consciousness is the new frontier. So opening up to a higher consciousness is what one of our goals are, to help you understand life, yourself, God, relationships, all of that. So we can have more longevity and just humanity just needs some help right now. So when we're humanity, got to step up. So.
Big time. That is so good. Just those 3 questions, like, you know, at first, I'm sure some people out there are thinking when you say, listen to your voice, you know, you think crazy.
Right.
Schizophrenic is what I was thinking. Let's be honest. I was thinking schizophrenic. That Norma Hollis, I don't know if I want to be close to her because she's a little schizophrenic. She misses her voices.
Right, when you think about it as the voice being just that thought.
But you answer. If you put clothes on, you answer yourself. Yeah. If you appear on time, if you eat something, you answer yourself. So how does the answer come?
Yeah.
Well,
I asked myself I'm going to eat a lot, okay, in one day. What do I have a taste for? Ooh, I want sushi. We do that all the time.
And Shani's a foodie, so she should be getting all kinds of messages. She's a foodie. Oh,
so that's step 1. You know, down the road, you begin to analyze how it comes and analyze when it comes. But, you know, just first get to the step of recognizing that it comes and feeling it and seeing how it comes. And then later, you'll just be, if you listen, you'll be guided to take it to the next level, to understand it more and more and more, because you cannot stop understanding it. it goes as deep as you will allow yourself to go with it.
It's like that balloon. Once you blow it up, it's not going to be the same anymore. Let me pause you right here to give us commercial break to Can Do Spice. Shani Smith is the owner and curator of Can Do Spice, some of the best spices on the planet. Go to Can Do Spice.shop. Can Do Spice.shop. Can Do Spice. My favorite is Mary Greens. I used to say Mary's Green and Mary Greens. And that's her mom's name, but this is the best spices with healthful benefits. Commercial break. Shani, you got 30 seconds. Go ahead and do it.
Oh, Lord, she done put me on the spot. I got to find my authentic self. Help me, Norma. Help me.
You know.
Well, you know how people want to do right. They want to eat right. They want to have the right supplements, but they don't know where to start. Well, what I've done is I've taken a thought out of it. Now I've created a blend that tastes good and it feels good for your body because I've added things like sea moss, ashwagandha, black seed, burdock root, so that you can enjoy, taste, and heal it at the same time. So, I'm just saying, CanDoSpice.shop. But the very fact, I'm going to have a transparent moment here. The very fact that you just brought that up and I kind of felt like, oh no, she put me on the spot, is because I'm coming into my own.
Exactly.
I will be on the call on Tuesday, Norma. So
that's exactly why I put
I'm coming into my own. So transparent moment there. Thank you so much.
That's exactly why I put you on the spot, because you got to be able to drop the dime just like that. So I want you to know that we also have a book out. It is called Empowering You, It's Your Time. It's an anthology of 9 ladies who are telling their tell-all stories. And it is powerful. I've had some reviews already. I've read it and it's amazing. My mom has read it. So many people have said this book has something for everyone. We will be doing an ebook strategy launch. We will be doing an ebook soon, and we want your help. Will you help us get to bestseller? How do you do it? You just go to Empowering Success, bit.ly/empowering success. We'll have more information about that shortly. We want everybody who is anybody to get this ebook, Empowering Success, and we're going to show you how to get it and help us get to bestseller by the end of the year. Oh, we're so excited. Let me tell you, this has been an amazing show with Norma Hollis. Shani Smith, you are sensational every time I hear you talk. And I want to give Norma one more opportunity to tell us something that she would tell us if this was her last most important message ever. Norma?
So my last most important message are to those of you who have children and grandchildren, and for you to recognize their gifts and talents and help them to live within them, because we really need a more authentic environment here on the planet, and we're losing grips on it in more ways than what you realize. So the future is truly with the children, and it's with them maintaining and being aware of who they are and living that way. So now that you have hopefully learned a little bit more about why it's so important, share it with the people who are younger than you and the people that are younger than them as much as possible. Because I always say, if we want an authentic world, it starts with us being authentic. And then we touch the ones in our world. They touch the ones in their world. And it continues to follow. So it's up to you to get it started. So reach out to me and come on Tuesday, and we'll give you some tips on how to make that happen. giftfromnorma.com. Thanks so much, Barbara and Shani. I appreciate the time to be with you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
We have loved this time together. Go to www.giftfromnorma.com to get in touch with the lovely Norma Hollis. Talking about she's 70 years old. Okay, that part.
74 next month.
Holy moly, mama.
I'm gonna need to see some ID after this.
Oh show. No, this month.
What day?
21st.
Okay, she's a Christmas baby.
So I love to say 75 next year. Okay. Hey.
Okay, listen. I'm definitely on that track, but I'm just saying, beautiful as ever. Thank you so much, Shani Smith. Thank you, Norma Hollis. Thank you. All of the participants out there watching. If you're watching on replay, please put in #replay. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Mark Lee, Dr. Eric Kelly III, and all the people behind the scenes. Nicole, thank you so much of Tech Nicole. All of you, we'll see you next week.
You know what time
Engage, inspire, empower. That's what I help you do as a celebrity, speaker, trainer, and coach. Hi, I'm Barbara H. Smith, known as the Masterful Presenter. I am the one that can help you dig deep inside your passions and deep inside your life to get you to the place you always dreamed.
I had the pleasure of hearing Miss Barbara Holmes Smith speak today, and just from her speaking to me today, I have realized that I need to have personalize my alter ego and be able to put myself out there a lot more.
I help through speaking techniques, teaching you how to use your words and your body language to inspire people to come up higher.
Today's presentation with Ms. Barbara was just outstanding. She has really helped me with her personality, with her being so genuine and passionate about what she believes in and helping to coach, train. Her sense of humor, her energy is just incredible.
How do I do that? By coaching and speaking and training. I help you with whatever it is that you want to do next. What is your next? Are you ready to take your life, your career to the next level? I can get you there. Contact me at www.barbarahsmith.com.